I'm calling the meeting to order at 6:34 p.m. Let's start off by going around and doing our introductions really quickly. We'll do commission members and then our guest.
Alicia Shebrel.
Mike Anderly.
Jean Hebert Larson.
Deborah Vandetta.
Such a roll call. Jesse Kerr.
Vincent Summer.
Microphone.
That was Dave.
Microphone.
Vincent Summer. I'm yelling at it.
Dave Solheim. Council Liaison Jerry Tenbush.
And we do have one guest as well. And her name is Beverly Nordstrom, who is going to be applying for a council position or a commission position. Awesome. First, we will have our city council liaison report. Jerry, do you have anything for us?
Nothing big. We had our first our first real town hall meeting on Monday night, where we 5 of us counselors got up on stage at the auditorium, and we had a mob of 26 people. 3 of them from DEI. Paul and I counted, and we got our math correct. No, it was a good experience, you know. People coming in just a different kind of forum where there was back and forth conversation that was allowed to happen, rather than them tell us what they want to say and us not really be able to respond to them like at a council meeting. So they got to ask questions or give us their gripes or their suggestions, and we got to have a back and forth conversation with them. So it was nice. It was a lot tamer than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a little bit more wild, but it was pretty good. One thing I did think about with the Downtown Estacada Commission, being the liaison for both that and this, again, I'm going to be on this, the liaison for this commission as long as I'm on council. So when they do start getting ready for the Christmas tree lighting, I think that would be a huge opportunity for collaboration with you guys.
It's on our agenda for our meeting on Saturday for the meeting. We'll
Okay.
definitely talk about it.
And they're requesting the $5,000 budget that the city budgets every year for the Christmas tree lighting to go into their budget. So there will be funds available for that project, but I'd just like to see it be, a bigger, better planned out, thing with carolers and, different things going on. And I really think that you guys, it'd be a good spot for collaboration. So yeah, that's all I got.
Excellent. We got our January minutes. If everyone could take a moment to look at them, and then we will approve the minutes if we're so inclined.
Quite official and all copacetic. I move to approve minutes.
You have a second?
I second.
Before we vote, I want to make one statement.
Yes.
That is that I did listen to the entire meeting when I was away, but I signed up too late for the
To be on the.
to be interactive. And for some reason, I wasn't getting the picture on my iPad, but I did hear everything that you talked about. So, so I hope your ears were burning.
So we will make
Great.
that
So
correction.
that doesn't have to be
Well, no,
noted anywhere, but I wanted to let
Attendance. and
everybody
virtual.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All right. With that one correction, all in favor of approving?
Aye.
Aye. Awesome.
So Alex, can I note that in this month's minutes, or do I need to resubmit last month's minutes? Okay, cool.
For our financial statement for this month, no new deposits as of yet. There should be one coming soon. We do have 3 other transactions for the January Estacada creates, all as expected, leaving us with a final balance of 3,300 and something that I can't read because it's overlapping the footer. Okay,
That's right.
all right.
I have a question about the financial statement. So you just reminded me talking about the DEC. So back when I was on the commission the first time, we had a separate account for the summer celebration and for the winter artisan show in addition to the general funds. And I just was wondering if those got combined into this account or what happened with that, or if there was any carry forward. Okay, cool. Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because we didn't do a winter artisan show in 2020 because COVID. But I'm pretty sure that we had funds in that account and I don't know what happened with it, and that would probably go toward whatever collaboration we did with DEC.
Right.
Anyway,
Jean, I'm pretty sure that the balance from 2019
includes all the accounts.
includes funds from Winter Artisans and from
Okay.
Summer Celebration that were both pulled, but that'll be in the previous transaction record. So we
Cool.
can verify that.
Thank you.
And so those would like roll over to doing something new.
Mhm.
Okay.
You never know if there's
If they're
money sitting
there.
around somewhere.
I mean,
Asking to be spent.
that's what I'm doing at my job right now, is going through all the accounts, being like,
Never
where's
know.
$12? So
I
Start
could
it
use it
as-
in my house, Jane.
I know.
I need to find some money.
I have it.
Okay.
We have very exciting news in the funds department.
Nice.
Did you think I'd remember the amount?
It was a big number. It's very exciting.
Alex, did we have any physical correspondence? Okay,
No, I was. When did we get that? That would have been.
it was in January.
Seems like we pay a lot of money to this Jesse Kerr person.
I do buy a lot of things. I do. We actually, what was exciting about the last one that I did, was that we actually bought like tabletop easels for our painting workshops. So
Yeah.
That's, it made it look like very official and very fun. I should actually send some pictures of the painting workshop to you so you can post it on Facebook. That'll come in a little bit, but it was awesome. Oh my gosh.
So no new mail. Minimal email correspondence. I don't think there was.
Other than
anything.
we did get an email from Ant Farm
Mhm.
regarding like they're trying to do some work in preserving the mural on the side of Harmony. It sounds like they're kind of ripping that down to the studs. And so they reached out asking about mural preservation, to which we sent them to some other people because we don't know anything about mural preservation, but we're excited that they're gonna make that effort, hopefully. So they will hopefully relocate that
Down to
mural.
the studs on the interior.
All I know is they asked about the mural, which as I have walked by and seen it lots, that was like the last standing wall, really.
Mhm.
So it must be pretty,
Well, if it's a.
they had to leave
if
some
it's a-
part of it.
Right, if it's a
to
remodel, you have
be
to
a
leave one
remodel.
original wall up or whatever is like the
Mhm.
rule, and there's.
That might be the wall that they're
that-
leaving.
hopefully-
Yeah,
hopefully
it's very open.
It's very open. I
It's
noticed. that.
very open, yes.
Did you say anything, tell them anything, maybe to reach out to Art Back too, since it's their mural?
That's
Yeah,
what we
we
did,
did,
yep.
yeah.
We sent them to many people.
Cool.
But
like,
specifically Art Back and
Hey,
Katika, so.
Yeah.
Which works, you know,
Just
throw it all out, see what.
need to be
see what works.
And they have done a mural reclamation project before. The Wild Bird mural
Oh, yeah.
at Wade Creek Skate Park was
Mhm.
moved from another location, so
Oh,
Yeah.
hopefully Artback has some historical knowledge of how they did that and can
Awesome.
direct them better. Yeah. Okay. So on to our review of current and previous events.
Do we want to, do this before that?
Oh,
Or is that
nope,
later?
that's later in other
Okay.
business.
I was just hunting for the grant number. It was something like 2,500.
I think it's
2,000,
2,300.
2,300, upwards of $2,000 from a grant. Thank you, Deborah. Yay, very exciting for,
Nice
will
work.
to go a long way towards funding our events for next year. And that's gonna include all the events that we do, I think, right?
Mhm.
Estacada
Yep, we wrote it for
Retreats and
everything.
Arts at the Creek and all that jazz.
And this is the Clackamas County Cultural Trust.
Mhm.
Yes.
Congrats.
I could get you that exact number. The email's a black hole.
That's okay, because we
Um,
will have it with us on Saturday when we do our
Yes,
planning.
We will. Yeah, we'll have all the things. And the painting one went great. We had a ton of people sign up to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, we have to like keep a closer eye on this and shut down the form. Because we had like, we had like 20 people sign up and I was like,
Oh, wow.
we do not have that many supplies though. So,
Yeah.
uh-oh. But luckily, I think 14 people ended up showing up. And only one of those was Maddie's husband. So 13 community members.
That's
Um,
home run.
And a huge, you know what it was?
Yeah.
It was the posting as a Facebook event. We went around and asked them and they were like, we saw it. I'm like, this is super loud. I'm just loud. Posting it as a Facebook event is how people found that. So that's absolutely something that we need to continue. I mean, we reached people that had no idea who we were. They were like, didn't understand why it was free, had never been to an arts commission thing before. It went really well. It was a challenging workshop. I would have been super intimidated doing it.
Just to clarify, rather than
Mhm.
just posting, like.
We
post
created
about
an
the
event.
You created.
Yes, created an
Yeah,
event.
okay, okay.
And so I think it comes up as like events near you.
Anytime anyone in your friend group, like.
Interacts or-
Yeah,
yeah.
interacts with it, hits going, hits interested or whatever, the algorithm just like, yeah.
So it was
exactly.
pretty,
Especially-
yeah, it was cool to see a huge variety of people come. I mean, there was a lady who came with her young son. There were older, younger, everybody in between. It was really cool. And then including our lovely friend Jane, who sold chicken wings at Arts at the Creek. She's really great. She and a bunch of friends were gonna do a painting night and they were like, oh, let's just do this. To that end, she also is an amazing painter. I have some examples of some of her artwork and she has volunteered to do for free to do a directed painting, doing like a landscape painting.
Cool. And what's
So
her
she-
name?
her name is Jane. Last name to come.
Jane Chicken Wings.
Jane Chicken Wings.
Okay. Volunteered.
Oh,
She's awesome. She was
For her, she's
Circle
super nice.
super nice. She did like pop-up stuff on Facebook for a long time and then I appealed to her to come to
Cool.
Arts at the Creek. She also makes a mean chicken.
Jane
wing.
and Tyler.
Okay, I was
Nice.
like, cause we were like. how is
Jane and
this?
Tyler. Tyler's her husband, I know. Um,
Yeah, it's super great. So she's offered to do it for free. She's just like excited that we're doing it. She's a wonderful artist. I have some of her paintings that she sent me. So super excited about that. We can talk about how we can work that in. I think painting workshops are a huge hit. So it's great to do that. And really the only thing that's a struggle for us is finding an artist to do it. And she's all about it and she's really great.
Cool.
So we've chatted a little bit about that. I also, this time I sent a reminder email to people who are participating a couple days in advance, like on that Monday, which I think was helpful. I also sent out a feedback form after the fact to get some information from
Nice.
people, which we can chat a little bit more about that on Saturday. I'd really like to get it to the point, and Maddie, you can help me do the thing where we can do like a QR code while you're here, like before you leave, if you could really quickly just fill out, it was like a 3-question survey. I just think it's really helpful to get feedback and people really appreciate being asked for feedback. So huge success and yeah, just really great. So very exciting. Maddie is amazing and did a ton of work. Luckily, Brian came with her. Setting up for the event and taking down for the event was a challenge. I was like, I can do it. And next time I need to ask for help because it was like a lot, because there were like 15, I mean, we were setting up for maybe 20 people. There was a ton of chairs, like lots of stuff that needed to get put out. And again, we can talk more about this, but I think since we're doing fewer events, we need at least 2 of us there to help.
Yeah, and we
Because
can
it
break it
was,
up like with the Christmas one where. you
somebody
know,
comes, sets up,
There
takes
can be
down.
some setup and some.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Set of
a
hands.
huge amount of work, but it was for me. Luckily, it was Maddie and Brian, and I was like, thank you, thank you. But we also got I bought drop cloths, like canvas drop cloths, and cut them the size of those tables. So that kind of covered the tables. Deborah loaned us a couple, and it just kind of warmed the
Those are
space.
ours. Those
Oh,
are Arts
ours.
Commission.
Okay,
Yep.
great. So we have those to sort of warm up that space. And that with the little tabletop easels. And again, I'll share pictures on Saturday because it was just really, it was like really cozy and lovely. So excited about doing more events like that. Great feedback. So yeah, this is my long-winded review.
Thank you, Jesse.
yeah.
For doing all that work.
I
That's
just was
awesome.
like, people offered, and I for sure was like, no, it's fine. I'll just do it.
Yeah, I kind of felt like everyone was going but me. And then I was like, well, that's fine because I've got kids and I've got whatever and.
Nope.
And I'm wondering if everyone else kind of thought the same, like, oh. well,
I mean,
everyone- Yeah.
You guys for sure, there were for sure
was all
people
like
that
color.
asked if they could help out. I for sure was like, no, it's no big deal. That was my fault, for sure.
Live and learn.
I'm not feeling left alone. I'm feeling like I need to learn how to delegate better, so I'm working on it. So yeah,
Well, and that actually, it's probably a better idea just for, I don't know if this sounds weird, but just for safety's sake, for everything's sake, like when we have events, it's always nice to have 2 go in teams, like if something were to happen and something were to get funky.
yeah,
Your husband calls you and says your little one fell down and you have to come home or, whatever. It kind of makes sense that maybe next time when we plan these.
well, I think it makes
Um,
sense. We're
we
having
should
fewer of
figure
them,
out-
so there's more people coming to them too. We have more time to promote. So we're just making it a little bit more intentional that way. for
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah, and that way, someone's not just stuck all by themselves and if there is an emergency or something.
I mean, it worked out
weird
that time because
happens,
we
you've
had
got
like
Your art.
basically
commission
like a
buddy.
city employee and a previous commissioner, so it was easy, but yeah, for future. On the grant, I found it. Your memory is spot on. It was $2,300 from the Clackamas County Cultural Coalition.
So that should be arriving somewhat soon. But if we don't get it by, I don't know, a week or 2, I'll get back in touch with them.
Yeah, because that came on the 9th. And they were saying they were gonna be like doing electronic.
There's definitely been a delay. I think they had a switchover of staff there or something. Because I had to resubmit a bunch of stuff that I had already submitted, but that's okay.
So yeah, upcoming events, February 10th, this Saturday, we have our planning meeting here, 10 to 2. We would all love to be out of here at 1 if we can work through. We'll just sort of see how that goes. I had it in my previous notes that I was gonna bring coffee and pastries. Does anyone prefer tea? Bring a kettle. No?
Do what?
For Saturday, I was gonna just bring like a thing of coffee and
Yep.
some pastries. Does anyone prefer tea was my question. Coffee's
Oh,
good.
I'm a coffee person.
Just little snacks. We talked about that before because we didn't eat all that amazing food that was there.
Yeah, and then if we're there later, everyone starts getting peckish, we can,
No,
Or
or grab a
pizza or
pizza or
whatever.
something. Yeah.
And then we can submit
Get hungry, we'll finish.
food
quicker.
for meeting. Okay.
there you go.
And then on that agenda, I just wanted to put this on today's agenda in case anybody thought of something we needed to add to Saturday. We're gonna talk about the events for the year. We want to talk about the poetry, Arts at the Creek, the summer project, and of course, like commission business, like roles and all of that. Does anyone have like burning things that you want to add to that agenda?
I would love to take 10 minutes and brainstorm about artist scheduling stuff. And then just get all the contact information so I can just do a Saturday afternoon, boom, 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 boom.
For Arts at the Creek?
Yep. And just we'll sort of solidify who we're leaning towards and start the process now so that if people can or can't, then we can shift and fill the space and
Absolutely.
not do this in May.
Yeah, well, that's the whole goal of all of this, right? I also want, because Maddie, and for Alicia too, Maddie was on our commission. She's the one that has done all of our awesome social media stuff.
Nice.
And she's volunteered to continue to do that. So I'm thinking if we can really like nail what we're doing for the year, we can be like, hey, can you make these 5 flyers for us?
Right.
So that way we just have them and then we can post them when the event comes.
That'd be great.
I've already reserved the Wade Creek Community Room for the next couple events, but I'll just like get her done now, so we don't have to think about it last minute, and promotion will be easier if we have the flyers, like you were talking about having them so much earlier.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And then they would just be picked up here or whatever.
Then we just ask Alex to print them and we
Yep.
can pick
Yeah.
one.
That would be awesome.
And I think it'll be easier for Maddie too. She can just do like a chunk of things and.
Yeah, and not be like, hey, the things in, like,
Yeah,
I need that yesterday.
Right.
like, especially for someone that's like volunteering.
yeah.
She's a good sport.
Nice, that's good.
Yeah, she does awesome things. I try to do it myself, but I know it takes her very little effort to make them beautiful. I'm like,
You know,
"It's going to need a lot of effort and it would look like.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Rodeo.
Delegate your
Uh-huh,
to
to
the
your
strengths,
strengths.
you know? So
Yeah.
if someone who's really good at that and wants to do that,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Well, and she really wanted to
As
stay.
opposed
She
to
just
one of us
moved out of
struggling to do it.
range, yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, March 14th.
I have one thing.
Yes,
On poetry in public places, I was going to get an estimate for a sign today and I went down to Whitney Signs, which I think was the only place I could find in town that does it. And discovered I had to make an appointment, so I will try to get that by
awesome.
Friday, so I have at least a little piece of information to start the cost of that,
Awesome.
so. I just got back home from my extended holidays yesterday about 4 o'clock.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so Whitney is the place to check, is that right?
They're like the sign people in
Okay.
town. There's
Okay.
also, do we talk about lake printing,
Lake
but I don't know if
printing.
they do metal signs,
Mhm,
but you could ask.
I mean, Sarah does decals for like trucks and
mhm.
trucking companies and stuff like that, so I'm sure that they could.
It'd be worth asking. It's
what is-
Lake,
what-
Lake Custom
design, okay.
Printing. They're good
shop
people and.
around.
She's the one that
Everything
runs the
else I
shop.
saw
They used to be
was
Barbara's, right?
15 to 20 miles away.
They're up by Stone
Yeah, that, I
Circle.
think.
Oh, okay.
Few operators up her house, George.
Okay.
Also, they didn't call me back about printing t-shirts for Arts at the Creek, so it might be some jobs might be too small.
Yeah.
Okay.
March 14th is our upcoming event. We need somebody to head that up, and we had sort of come up with like it's Pie Day, Pie Coup, Pie related arts and fun. We need somebody to take that on.
I would do it with Jean, because I'm.
I don't know if I
a
will be
poet.
here for that.
Oh.
I'm not a poet either. It's
Oh,
not my
sure,
strong.
You're a writer.
Yeah, that's not poetry. I'm not good at poetry.
I'd be
I would,
happy to do the poetry side of things.
Okay.
I
gonna say, I could
talked
do
about
pie
that.
thing.
Two of
when
you.
I
was
was
home.
going to
And
talk
I'll
to,
just say, I just have a new book of poetry out and I just checked and I've got about 7 NDSU, North Dakota State University Press. Took them 2 years, but they finally got it printed.
Wow,
And I
perfect.
just went through quickly and I've got about 14 haiku in there and I know I've done. I did the artist in residence for the North Dakota Arts Council for 5 years. And I did part-time off and on for about 10 years after that. And so I've taught creative writing to kindergarten students and people who are my age now.
oh, that
Wow.
would, so
Retirement,
it's
so
like. a
I can do the
pie-
activity side. I'm,
Well, it'd be
not so-
like pie themed haikus. So
we'll see.
people are,
Yeah.
well, the people coming will be doing haikus, right?
Don't look at
Isn't
me.
that?
I was hoping
Yes,
you'd
the
volunteer.
idea.
Think to do it as a kind of workshop.
Dave is in-
Yeah.
There's also
Haiku.
a way that they've
I was gonna get
done a
pies. That's what I got.
haiku project.
I just want the pie. I'm gonna come for pies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm bringing.
I am
You need someone to
poetry.
listen to haiku and eat pie.
There you go.
But we can make it what it can be
Right,
whatever we
right.
want it to be, and
Just
it
fun.
will be
I
fun,
was
and there will be
thinking-
poetry,
I
and
would
it will be
love to.
pie. It'd be
Writing
awesome.
poetry and eating pie. is
Yeah.
a
If
great
you're
combination.
okay with.
We were thinking,
Shameless self-promotion, we should throw your book.
Yeah.
oh, that's a
Like-
great idea.
I'll see if I get some more copies. I've
Yeah,
got
do a
Great.
reading and do the whole deal. Okay,
Were
that'd
we
be awesome.
talking about like a pie walk
Mhm.
type of a thing, like a cake walk, but with pies? So that was an activity. And then something to do, maybe I'm just making this up in my mind, but Pi would like cut out words for the like, well, it could be any age, but it'd be kind of fun if it was like for younger, maybe like older elementary school kids, but like, the refrigerator magnet poetry type of a thing,
Oh, yeah.
but pie themed, or, yeah, something like that.
I'm putting
Sounds like
Alicia-
Dave and Alicia are all over this, and I'm excited to see
Dang.
what happens.
I literally
I mean,
did
we
not
could-
know
I
how to advertise it, so it was
I get-
literally put in as pie,
Yeah.
arts and fun. So it's real vague. You can run with that however you like.
So you wanna
Sure.
get together?
Yeah.
Okay,
If,
That sounds
as I
really
said, I'm
fun.
fairly good at the writing activities. I have a lot of
Perfect.
variety there, but the,
and then I
baking
was, gonna-
pie is beyond my,
well, I was gonna try to get a bunch of pies
Yeah.
from the harvest market
sure.
and or local bakeries, see who wants to donate. But it's just right on my face. Sorry, but yeah, other than that, I don't have any, I would need an actual poet, so.
Sounds great.
Or at least someone that knows, I don't even know, what are the rules? It's 5, 7,
575.
5, 7, 5, okay,
Yeah.
so,
And
And-
there are variations you can play with too.
Okay,
So
perfect.
And this space is already reserved, so we,
Yeah.
like, we have the space to just have to make it happen.
And if
Let
you
Maddie
need,
know what we need.
if you need anybody to make pies, just get a
Ooh.
hold of Riley.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll put her to work. So then should we figure out now who's all gonna do it? Do we both want to do setup and tear down? Do we want to do it where we did a thing? Like, how long is it gonna take? Is that something we want to talk about Saturday, or is that something we want to talk
That's-
about here?
We could
Let's
probably
do
talk about it on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
To Saturday.
As long as we have people that are, their brains are dedicated towards that.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Other business, the committee chair summit is coming up in a couple of weeks. Do you want to share? I said that I would go.
I don't know what that is.
Deborah,
I also have another meeting that night.
okay.
So it did exactly the same. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
So Deborah is not able to go, they said that 2 people from each commission can go. I'm not gonna pressure anybody into going with me, but if anybody wants to join me, it's for like an hour. I feel like
So
someone
what is
needs
it?
to show up. I have no idea.
Someone
It's
explain,
it's just basically a workshop where the chairs of each committee, city committee, get together and they talk about, they talk about what events they're doing throughout the year, what they have planned throughout the year, to see if there's opportunity for collaboration, to see if there's, to make sure nobody's overlapping. You
Mhm.
know, if like, because if you guys are doing something on a certain weekend and Parks is doing something also on that same weekend, is there a way to make it work together?
Right.
Many hands make less work type of thing, so.
okay.
So what would be a good time to go and show up, and I'll take notes and see if there's anything we want to add to like our summer
Mike can
project.
show up and represent two commissions.
All right, then at least I won't be all by myself.
I gotta.
I don't think it's necessary
I
for
gotta
us
go
to show up in
event
force.
Yeah.
I'll just smile and nod and have my calendar of events. Take notes.
Cool.
I'm also gonna try to attend that night. so.
Okay. So I guess I will just be there. Okay. So commission appointments. We do have, like Alex said, we do have a meeting again before the appointments are made, but we need to do all of that now to be ready for the packet.
Well, no, the recommendation that you need to make is for your vacant seat. The other seats are going to be appointed by council. Oh. Oh, okay.
So we're interviewing for our own commission appointments as well.
Wow, so you're.
So
let's interview
we're
yourself.
interviewing ourselves?
I'm doing,
That's correct.
I'm
Well,
doing
why
very
don't we-
well.
Why don't we let Beverly, our lovely guest, go through the ringer first? I mean, get interviewed first.
So Beverly, can you
We're really formal crew.
come up to the, one thing after reading Beverly's application, Alicia and Jean,
Yeah.
one thing after reading her application, I wish that she would have been here a couple of years ago. Before we disbanded Paige.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So what did I do wrong?
We had a local performing arts group we did a play. Three of us were on the board of directors for the group. We did a play a year plus other activities that we did. We did Readers Theater down in at the community center, but we always had, every year we had one play in the auditorium, and then COVID came and like our volunteer base just like went away. So
But we had a show the weekend before everything got shut down.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
That's right.
but yeah, it would have been nice just having more people in the community with performing arts background. So
And to that end, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what? you're interested in?
My arts background is goes from the fine arts to performance arts, meaning theater, musicals, directing, producing, recruiting, training, to music. So I have a degree. I started out at Morehead State University, right? And with a fine arts degree, which didn't exist. So I had to craft my own. I'd be going between Concordia, North Dakota State, and Morehead. And it was so general, and plus it's way too cold in the winter to travel miles. So I have taken quite a few art courses, both sculpture, drawing, that type of thing, and then settled on dramatic arts and music. I've been involved in community, I think directly relating to this group. I've been involved in a lot of community productions, both here in the United States and internationally. Like, I was up for the Women's Year of the Women in Canada, and I was their choreographer in Thompson, Manitoba, working with the Music Man production, which in Thompson, Manitoba is one of the largest open nickel mines, and they have first generation people. So my Pick a Little ladies really did have British accents. Tommy, the main character, was from Greece. And so we had all sorts of, for the Music Man. It was really fun. And then I was in India doing a couple of seminars. Argentina, I directed a television program, worked with a lot of volunteers. I think community involvement, my forte has always been to impart vision and to get people excited about jumping on board and being part of something brand new. So they all take risks. We train, we innovate, we equip as much as we can, and we give space for the volunteers to be creative. And as long as they know that we've got their back and they're free to fall on their face, we're going to pick them up and keep going, be it learning how to write music or how to perform or dance or draw or paint or whatever, that as long as they're open to direction, it's really fun. And so I've been involved like in the Singing Christmas Tree down at the Keller. I've done choreography, I've done design work, performance work. But for local community to do local theater, local arts, I get great joy in taking people who've always had a desire to paint, to sing, to write music, to do keyboard in their church, and they're just scared. They've never done it at all. So I think one of my favorite things is I scrounged up, 6 to 9 electronic keyboards, and I had people who always wanted to be in front playing music, and they didn't have a clue. And it was really fun because just like music, all the arts can only be experienced in really 3, maybe 4 ways. One is listening, watching, and enjoying. The other one is performing. And that would be painting, writing, singing, whatever. And then there's also a historical side where you can actually study about it, but that's pretty sterile. But it does have benefit. But it's been really fun to have people who have a secret desire to learn. And with music, it wasn't just that they learned how to play keyboard. I forced them to play by ear, which is really scary. And that they had to be able not only to chord, and which I can give them a structure for like 90% of the songs out there, 95. And then, but then they also had to write music. You just can't, because you have to be able, if you break down the barriers, and I think you can tell, like with poetry, for creating, right? It just opens up everything. Like I can actually write music. I can perform it. I can sing it. They may not be the best of singers, but it was really fun to see them grow and get super, super creative. I've done that with art projects, but the big thing is working with the community, with volunteers, getting people to buy in to participate. It doesn't matter the level. I mean, they could be sewing beards. They can be picking up, they can set up, whatever it is it really is a part where now art becomes a tangible way to impart not only vision, but encouragement and buy-in for the community. And so there are some purists that really have a very narrow interpretation of what is art. And that's always a much debate. But I think art is something that can express your feelings, your vision, your purpose, whether it's two-dimensional, like a sheet of paper or painting, or three-dimensional sculpture, acting, community drama. Community readers theater is great because it takes all the risk out of, blocking and staging and sets. But where everyone participates, it's a great joy. And I've done this I've conducted classes and involvement for kids 2 and 3 years old, and they were composing, and they were performing, and they were reading music, and to people who were in their, I think probably late 70s is the oldest, maybe 80s. And it's when the community is involved, even though the budget may be small, I find the community participates in so many levels of bringing to the table things they have at home. And once they start opening up their toolbox, here's what I have available. And then you can all come together, create this beautiful project that everyone can enjoy. As far as like arts, for the community to appreciate like some of the art you have around here, I think it's nice to have not only the art that people can readily relate to, but some where they look at it and all they can do is kind of tilt their head, like it's a new thought, like a calf looking at a new gate. That's very important as well. To impart vision is sometimes to impart a challenge. I have created some art that is very controversial, that people just, it was meant that they would be uncomfortable and have to think. And it wasn't offensive, but it was extremely uncomfortable. And those are not probably the more popular pieces I've ever done, but it was gratifying to sit back. The art was really, if you would sit in the corner and then you watch people interact with the art, that was the important thing because it showed the thought process going on. Lately, I've been fearless with approaching new art projects with new ideas. And so I am always taking on new art just for myself. So I started with watercolor, which is probably one of my most frustrating experiences because you can't control anything. So if you're a control freak, you just right out the window. So it's really good for me because I tend to want to control. Especially when I've directed and produced, you have to be able to be a project manager. But with watercolor, it's really stretched me. What really stretched me is I was selected by Happy Valley as their fine arts display. And I had only been doing watercolor for like a year and a half, and I was just kind of blown away. So the challenge with putting your work, watercolor on display, watercolors with blending does not really transfer to the printing press, big banners that you can't get the right colors. But it was really fun. And so my work's up on Happy Valley as you drive down Sunnyside. There's there's commercial artists on one side, and then I have the fine art on the back side. Anyway, so I love art, and I think there's another area of art, and that's with food. You know,
We talked about trying to do that with culinary arts for Pie Day, but it's a bit of a struggle without an oven.
but even with even with cake decorating or
Yeah.
and
Can I ask you a
Yeah.
question about your background? Because we've been struggling and thinking it's hard to find people who are willing to lead like a music or a drama related workshop. Would you be willing or able to share those kind of skills by leading a workshop for the community?
actually, yep, absolutely. Or like maybe an event type of community choir or
Oh my gosh.
a couple barbershops or like a talent night. And
Awesome.
I think there's a lot of things you can do. And actually the history of Oregon is so based on people coming together on be it for Thanksgiving or Christmas, they would come together and share their meals, and you have a lot of community. We would in Midwest, we'd call them hoedowns, but instant, like always sharing music and dancing. That's all available. And as far as my business background, so I do have an executive MBA, focus on change management. I worked for Xerox Corporation. I've worked for Apple Corporation. I've met Steve Jobs, John Scully. And I've managed multiple states, regions. I've been a national trainer. And so I'm really big on equipping and training.
Do you write grants?
No, but I know someone who does, who's extremely successful. Yes, I have responded to getting grants answered. I haven't pulled together a grant asking other people to get money from me. I haven't done that. But yes.
How did you end up in Estacada?
I was gonna
Yeah,
wonder this.
yep.
You
Yeah.
got very worldly for Estacada.
I grew up in Eagle Bend, Minnesota, a small town, 611 people at its height. And it's right, we didn't have this at the time, so it was a map. And where we were on Highway 71 is right where the map folded, that hole in the map. That's-
Wobegon.
That's north of us. Yeah, but not, yeah, so I'm used to a small town.
Are there 4 Minnesotans here? Because Vince is from Minnesota.
Oh, really? I go, yeah, sure, you
And
bet
so
you don't.
is
You know,
Dave.
not you are. Yeah.
Dave, are you a North Dakota? No.
I grew up in North Dakota.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm from Southern Minnesota.
Yeah, no.
So what brought you all the way to Oregon?
We just had.
I was hired by Xerox to come out and manage their office here. So I had Alaska, parts of Washington, Oregon, Montana, Idaho that I managed for them. And in their sales department.
Minnesota.
So that's how I got here.
My typical go-to question is what particular skill or, do you bring to the Arts Commission, but you've blown me away.
My skill is imparting vision and getting people to buy in and working with volunteers.
Well, that's a huge.
My-
part of what we do.
I love mentoring people.
Yeah,
I don't have answers, but I know how to ask questions.
Yeah, that's amazing. You've completely blown me away. So
You're wildly overqualified.
Yes.
do you want my seat on council?
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect.
I used to lift, build and do that. My physical ability, it's a little bit challenged. I had a catastrophic accident a year ago. So I'm walking right now. I haven't started running, but I am walking. And but I will lift as much as I can, but I'm kind of pretty sure-footed.
Well,
So
thank you for coming. We really
Welcome.
appreciate hearing from you.
anyway, we moved here mid last year. I would love to be a part of the community and help. If I'm not chosen, I definitely want to help you all. So that's all.
We need all the help we can get, and a huge part of our purpose is to do exactly what you've said, is to inspire those people who are on the peripheral, just waiting to dip their toes in, as well as support all the working artists in the community. So we really spoke to a lot of that.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks
so
for
much.
coming.
Thank you.
Did you make your sweater?
I'm,
I did.
by the way,
I am obsessed.
literally blown away.
No.
We'll have a brawl up here.
No one could tell.
Thank you.
Thank
No, you're
you.
just being crazy.
Gene,
What?
Tonight.
Jane Chicken Wing is Brunel,
Tonight.
BRUNELLE.
Oh my, Gene.
BRUNNELLE, two N's, two L's.
Thank you so much for
One
coming,
N.
Beverly.
Are,
One N.
if you
One N,
aren't,
two L.
you
Okay.
said that you're willing to volunteer.
Thank
if you
you.
aren't,
I wouldn't actually write.
Or whatever,
Nice.
so let's
I'll
make
think.
I
sure
just
we
know
have
them
her.
personally, so-
We have to go through the whole.
I know, I'm
shebang.
just saying, like, let's make sure to have, not let her leave this building without getting all of her information.
We have it all.
Okay, okay.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have to interview Jesse and Deborah? And
So
Alicia?
Jerry,
do you
you're
wanna
talking
know?
about back in time
That's what she said.
for Paige?
Would have been amazing.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
She
that
could have
blew me
ran,
away.
like, no one wanted to be president. We
Paige
would've just
can
been
come
like,
back, you
here you
guys.
are.
We can always like,
I was to say,
Well, now that Bev is here, yeah.
if you
Paige
get
can come back.
if you
Are
get
kidding
a
me? Single-handedly.
board back together and vote. I mean, I can't volunteer for another thing, but don't put Paige to bed yet.
Oh, I know.
No,
There's
it's-
people.
it's-
but it also can be like, we haven't really had someone that's willing to like step up and lead that kind of event. Like
Yeah.
we could do an Estacada Creates with like a performing arts or a musical. We've had
Yeah.
a hard time finding people who are willing to step in and lead those.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if it was somebody on the commission that's willing to like be that
Yeah.
person, that would be huge.
My improv workshop was a huge flop. It was horrible.
So who wants to go
So-
next?
So how do we do this?
I
think
do, I do want to
five-year-olds,
just
so
call out that she
no.
is a school district person.
Right? Oh, yeah. Next level.
But but I think, if we have Jesse and Deborah and Alicia, we have 2 city and 2 school districts. So I just want to point that out, that she's not a city limits person. Not that I think we're gonna get rid of Deborah or Jesse, but they are our city people who applied. So just for a logistical, you know,
So wait, what does that mean? How many people can we have that are outside of the
Two and
city
two.
limits?
we need 2 city and
2 in and 2
at
out.
least 2 city. We
Okay.
could have 3 city or 4 city, but we need at least 2 city.
Gotcha, okay.
So I just wanted to,
Mine, Deborah's and Alicia's.
yeah,
Yeah, because I was appointed to fill a vacancy.
yeah.
So,
So do we need to just have us each say something? I mean, I haven't led Xerox or multiple regions, but I wrangle 5-year-olds and I do my best and I don't know what else to say. I'm happy to continue leading the Arts at the Creek and doing the things and managing all the organization. And of course I would volunteer if you kicked me out. Be a little bitter for a minute, but I'd show back up. I don't know how to do this without being sarcastic. It feels
yeah,
awkward.
that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
You do our
Jack.
email.
you get to
Okay.
say a thing.
Well, I'll say first off, you really don't want to kick her out because then one of y'all is going to have to step up and be chair because I have to step down from being chair, but I would put my hat in for treasurer. I am still interested in staying on commission. And also if you kick me out, you're still going to be stuck with me because I consider you a community partner of youth services at the Estacada Public Library. Clarifying that. Yeah, so I think we have lots of awesome stuff that we're gonna do this year and I want to be a part of it. That's what I got.
Voting or making recommendations or,
So-
okay, can we also just solidify? Do we have to like make the recommendation before we move on with any kind of like chair appointments or any? of
We're
that?
gonna-
Okay,
Okay. But you are planning on stepping down from co-chair but you're interested in treasurer. Is it
Yes.
okay to note that? Okay.
and just.
We are gonna talk about, yes.
Okay, great.
We're really gonna have a reckoning of everybody putting their names on events to step up is what I need. But I'm happy to continue or to be the chair as long as people are willing to step up and put their names on things because will be very overwhelmed.
What
otherwise.
does
And-
put your name on things mean?
Like signing up to do.
Like
Because I'm this
Oh.
person and that's how I ended up doing the painting thing
Oh,
and
okay.
doing the other things and all the things. And I'm gonna work
Not
on not
Do
doing
every
them.
single
Yeah,
event?
I won't be at every event.
Single-handedly, yes.
Yes.
okay.
So
That makes sense.
and Deborah and I have talked about it. about how the responsibilities will kind of shake out. I do think for the moment, because we're having the switch over and there's some new people, and I think the chair stuff is something that I can do.
It would be
As
nice.
long as people fill in the support, I don't think we need another co-chair necessarily. The title is not the most important thing. Like I can do the agendas and I
The
can do the things.
consistency would be nice to
It's-
stick though, if we're getting new.
Well, there always needs to be someone who's essentially head of admin.
And that's,
Yeah.
very skilled at that.
yeah, that's my
Uh,
jam.
And then
So,
there's sort of the foot soldiers of like,
Mhm.
when setup needs to happen in this event and specialize in this. Also, like, the fact that Beverly showed up and crushed face. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
she has the potential to be somebody who's highly motivated, very experienced, and
mhm.
has not deterred by
No, she'll have the follow through.
weirdness of being like, "Hey, room full of strangers, let's do art, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think everything will find its place.
So yeah, and we can talk a little bit more about the actual appointments on Saturday. Like I said, we have talked about it. There's like a few lingering questions and she's agreed to continue being my emotional support chair. It's gonna be fine. I know what I'm doing, I swear. So yes, I'm happy to continue doing the things.
Do I have to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just ditto the things you said a month or two ago.
So if you've read this, it is still all true. No, I've been really happy about being on the Arts Commission just these past few months. I've really enjoyed every event that I've gone to or been a part of, and I'd love to continue it in the future and see how we can go. I really am excited about Estacada getting back into like the good old days, you know, maybe not summer celebration. I know that's a big deal, but you know, just being out, having more stuff, especially with all the people moving to town, you know, it's like we have, our audience has doubled our potential, you know, and our potential, what's the base of, people to play to, people to work with, and to collaborate with and to expose to art, not in a weird way, but maybe in a weird way sometimes, which is good.
Almost got a little excited when she said she made some controversial art. I immediately was
right
like,
here.
I mean.
I was like, need to,
I tried.
yes.
I know, I want to hear, she's gonna have to say more about that.
And I am happy to step up more as needed. To the best of my abilities, but I am also, like Mike said, I'm a good foot soldier. That was something that I liked in Paige, that, you know, you could be the president of the board and you would be the person that would make the announcements for the show and then go down in the basement and put the food out for everyone, you know, for 6 or 4 shows, you know, every day. There are no small parts, you know.
You don't have to sell us too hard. You're being way too serious.
Well,
Yeah, so
yeah, I want to
We
justify.
support
know.
you.
But,
I strongly feel, oh, sorry, I didn't.
oh, and so I would, you know, anytime that you're feeling overwhelmed or anything, you know, you need only send a text or something to be like, I need someone to do this, you know, and it's, but yes, you do have to delegate. I can't read minds, but I am excited to see where we're gonna go with this. So yeah, let's keep on keeping on.
All right.
Okay, so I strongly feel that the Arts Commission took a right turn when Chelsea Biondelillo became the chair for the Arts Commission. I don't want to say that the previous Arts Commission was stagnant, but there was a lot, there was a lot more that could be done in the community, and Chelsea made that hard right turn and really put you guys put this commission on a path that I'm super excited for all the work that you guys do. And I'm very, very confident that the 4 people, that Brianna lady, like I said, she was a bundle of energy, great thing, but Beverly blew me away.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
forget about it.
And you know,
I want her to be in.
and knowing the 3 of you for, you know, you for the short time that I've known you, and then the 2 of you ladies for as long as I've known you. I feel like adding her to commission, not taking anything away from you, sir, because I think.
I didn't
you've done-
interview, so.
But I really think that she brings a need, you know, she fills a need.
Agreed.
And I think that, you know, the rest of you ladies being, you know, sticking around, I think this is a great group of 4 that will, you know, help this commission just continue to go on that route that I honestly think that, you know, Chelsea, you know, did a good thing and y'all are continuing it. And I'm excited to see you guys do this. So.
I'd
She'll
love
also
to-
be back for collaging in May. Okay.
I'd love to throw in that I always give people points for showing up. So, I mean, even without hearing her speak, which was very exciting, I think that for me, it was a no-brainer that she was here and obviously cared. And so that's just my 2 cents. So.
I agree.
All right. I don't think. we can
So
move
Alex,
quicker,
you
so-
will contact Beverly. When you contact Brianna, we don't have her info from this. So could you ask her to, like, you know, if you want to volunteer, please email the Arts Commission email address, just so she knows that otherwise we won't be able to contact her unless she
on that-
reaches out again.
Are we allowed, because it is a public meeting, are we allowed to invite Beverly to Saturday?
You invited me early.
Could we invite her early, just in case she has time and wants to be a part of it? Cause I know it was hard, like you were appointed right after we had just had these whole conversations.
And
So
is
maybe we
it for the
can-
next year?
Yes.
So if she
Well,
comes on, it's like a year of stuff that would be great to have input on at the
Yeah.
get-go.
Yeah, so maybe could you invite her to come?
Can I put in the minutes that we're officially recommending Jesse and Deborah and Alicia and, okay. I don't.
We're mourning the loss of Vince, but we'll still utilize your abilities.
Okay, we will loop him into things
Would
regularly.
would you guys consider, maybe at your, planning meeting, discussing the possibility of having an actual like arts booth, not an informational booth, but like an art project booth at the Timber Festival, if they are able to put it on?
We have talked about that. Because Jordan wanted us to do all sorts of things for that. It's a week before the Arts at the Creek.
Oh, okay,
That's the thing that's a little bit,
okay.
it's like our biggest event. So we can talk about that more if somebody, I know I won't, I'm not gonna do that a week beforehand because there's a lot of things that need to be done. But I will add that to an ask.
Maybe we can devise some kind of simplified crafting
Yeah,
thing
Well,
that's
there's
sort
several
of.
things that we've done that are like that. We just need somebody to
Yeah.
sign up for it.
even if it's
Yeah,
just
And I'm
the
doing
spin
this.
art, something, you know,
Not gonna.
just something to get, you know, just to get you guys out there a little, you know,
Yeah.
even
can you-
more.
Can we?
For sure,
Because
and we
that's
talked to
huge.
Jordan about like doing advertising
I've
and
heard some
participating.
minutes.
That door is open between us and Jordan as well. Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know,
When is Timberfest is,
say, you know, make the
4th of
hard push
July
towards
weekend.
that.
No,
but,
it's
you
not.
know,
It's
just a
later.
Art booth would be,
Yeah, he
Right.
you know, that's as far
separated
as I
it
was
out
thinking.
from
Yeah.
For you guys to go.
4th of July.
Oh.
Which is
I
why
think
it's even
theoretically,
closer.
we'd love to
Yeah.
kind of have a presence at so many different things. It's just a matter of how many people are willing to show up and be
Operated
there.
every week.
Because again, I'm not gonna raise my hand. All right, does anybody have any community updates or arts opportunities?
I totally flaked. I haven't been to the Spiral Gallery in like 2 months.
Been to the community one. Isn't that what's there now?
Is there a list of
No,
like,
there's a new one,
A new
a new show already, yeah.
is there a list of local stuff that, or companies that we've already had funding from?
Yes.
So Just so like, I'm gonna ask people for funding, I don't wanna like pound
Later.
double over or whatever.
Yes,
Okay.
it's in the drive. I have all the
It's in Google
spreadsheets,
or, okay.
contact information.
It's
Yeah.
between 4th
Yes.
of July and our thing, so.
All right,
In June?
well,
the days of Timberfest?
No,
it is he emailed it, it's the week before.
the week before our thing, so like
It's the
the
week
21st-ish of July.
Oh, okay.
I'm just doing math. Sounds like
The
I'm really
ninth,
sure, but it's
19th and 20th is Saturday, Friday, Saturday,
I'm really
21st, Saturday, Sunday.
using that information, doing a calculation and giving you a number. I have no confidence in it.
Are you looking for that? Okay.
Oh my God.
Classic.
So dry.
We can definitely find that and have it available for Saturday.
I know it's the week before Arts at the Creek. I think it's the weekend, maybe like the
So
Saturday.
probably
Sunday.
the 21st, 22nd would make sense. Okay. Any last few words? What time is it?
7:34.
All right, I'm going to adjourn our meeting at 7:34. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hour
Hour
flat.
with that.